Her touch was soft, but her love was unstoppable. Captain Maya Chen had commanded 3 different starships and survived encounters with hostile aliens, rogue asteroids, and diplomatic nightmares that would make seasoned ambassadors weep. Nothing, however, had prepared her for Zara. The transport shuttle docked with barely a whisper, and Maya stood at attention in the docking bay, reviewing her tablet one last time. Cultural liaison from Ethereal Prime, check. Advanced degrees in xenobiology. And interspecies relations, check. Fluent in 17 languages, check. What the file hadn't mentioned was that Zara would be absolutely stunning. She emerged from the shuttle like something from a dream, tall and willowy, with skin that seemed to shimmer with an inner light, silver hair that moved like liquid mercury, and eyes the color of deep space itself. Her uniform was regulation, but somehow it looked like haute couture on her frame. "Captain Chen," Zara said, extending her hand in what Maya assumed was a traditional human greeting. Her voice had a musical quality, like wind chimes in a gentle breeze. "I am honored to serve aboard your vessel." Maya reached out to shake her hand, but instead of a firm handshake, Zara grasped her wrist with both hands and brought it to her forehead, pressing her temple against Maya's pulse point. The contact sent an unexpected jolt through Maya's nervous system. Maya stammered, very aware that half the docking crew was watching this exchange with poorly concealed interest. "Welcome aboard the Meridian." Zara held the contact for what felt like an eternity before releasing her wrist with a serene smile. "Your life force sings beautifully, Captain. Very strong, very passionate." First Officer Torres cleared her throat loudly from behind them. "Should I show our guest to her quarters, Captain?" "Yes," Maya said quickly, grateful for the interruption. "Get her settled in. Zara, we'll have a briefing at 0800 tomorrow." As they walked away, Maya heard Torres mutter something about interesting cultural practices and Zara's melodic laugh in response. Maya touched her wrist where Zara had held it, surprised to find her pulse still racing. Later that evening, Maya was reviewing duty rosters in her ready room when her door chimed. "Come in." Zara entered carrying a small, glowing crystal in her. "Hamid, I brought you a gift," she said, placing it on Maya's desk. The crystal pulsed with warm, golden light. "That's very thoughtful, but it's a harmony stone from my homeworld," Zara interrupted gently. "When 2 people share compatible energies, it glows. When they don't..." She trailed off, gesturing to the steadily brightening crystal. Maya stared, at the stone, then at Zara, then back at the stone, which was now glowing so brightly it cast shadows on the walls. "Is this some kind of ethereal mating ritual?" Maya asked carefully. Zara's laugh was like silver bells. "Oh no, Captain. When we begin mating rituals, you'll know." She moved toward the door, pausing at the threshold. "Sleep well. Tomorrow should be illuminating." The door slid shut, leaving Maya alone with the glowing crystal and the distinct feeling that her well-ordered life was about to become very complicated indeed. The next morning's briefing went smoothly enough, if Maya ignored the way Zara seemed to study her every movement with the intensity of a xenobiologist examining a new species. Her questions were intelligent, her observations astute, and her presence thoroughly distracting. "The Meridian will be conducting survey missions in the Outer Rim," Maya explained, pulling up star charts on the main display. "Your expertise will be invaluable when we encounter new species." Zara nodded thoughtfully. "And what is your preferred method for establishing first contact, Captain?" "Caution, respect, and overwhelming firepower held in reserve," Maya replied. "Ah," Zara said with a smile that made Maya's stomach flutter. "A perfect balance of diplomacy and strength. Most attractive." Torres shot Maya a look that clearly said, "Good luck with that one," while the rest of the senior staff tried to hide their grins. After the briefing, Maya found herself walking the corridors more often than usual, telling herself it was routine inspections. It had nothing to do with the possibility of running into Zara. Nothing at all. She was examining a power coupling on Deck 7 when she heard that familiar musical voice behind her. "Working hard, Captain?" Maya straightened and turned to find Zara, standing closer than regulation personal space would typically allow. Close enough that Maya could see the subtle patterns of light that shifted beneath her skin like aurora borealis. "Always something to fix on a starship," Maya said, hoping her voice sounded steadier than she felt. "Perhaps you could use assistance." Zara moved closer, ostensibly to examine the power coupling, but Maya was acutely aware of her presence. "On Ethereal Prime, we believe in hands-on collaboration." Before Maya could respond, Zara reached past her to adjust a setting on the coupling. The movement brought them into full contact. Zara's body pressed against Maya's back, her arm extended, alongside Maya's, her breath warm against Maya's ear. "There," Zara murmured, her voice sending shivers down Maya's spine. "Much better." Maya turned in the small space, bringing them face to face, inches apart. Zara's dark eyes seemed to hold the depth of space itself, and Maya found herself leaning forward almost involuntarily. "Captain Chen to the bridge." Torres's voice crackled over the comm system, breaking the spell. Maya stepped back quickly, her heart pounding. "Duty calls." "Indeed," Zara said, but she didn't move away. Instead, she reached out and straightened Maya's collar with gentle fingers. "Until later, Captain." Maya practically fled to the bridge, where Torres was waiting with a knowing expression and a cup of coffee. "Rough morning?" Torres asked innocently. "Shut up," Maya muttered, accepting the coffee gratefully. "You know," Torres said conversationally, "I've been reading up on ethereal customs. Apparently they're very direct about their romantic interests." Maya nearly choked on her coffee. "What's that supposed to mean?" "Just that you might want to be prepared for some cultural differences in courtship behavior." As if summoned by their conversation, Zara appeared on the bridge, gliding over to the science station with her characteristic grace. She caught Maya's eye and smiled, a slow, knowing smile that made Maya's pulse quicken all over again. "Captain," she said sweetly, "I've been analyzing the long-range sensor data. There are some fascinating energy readings from the Tau Ceti system that I'd love to discuss with you privately." Torres coughed into her coffee, and Maya realized that the next few weeks were going to test her command abilities in ways she'd never anticipated. 3 days later, Maya was beginning to understand what Torres had meant about ethereal directness. Zara had a way of making even the most mundane interactions feel charged with possibility. She lingered after briefings, found reasons to visit the bridge during Maya's shift, and had somehow made delivering daily reports feel like an intimate conversation. Maya was reviewing supply requisitions in her ready room when Zara entered without waiting for permission, carrying 2 steaming cups. "I thought you might enjoy some ethereal tea," Zara said, settling into the chair across from Maya's desk as if she belonged there. "It's known for its stimulating properties." Maya accepted the cup cautiously. The tea was a beautiful deep purple color and smelled like jasmine and starlight. "Stimulating how?" "It enhances awareness," Zara said, taking a delicate sip. "Makes one more sensitive to connections." Maya had barely tasted the tea when she felt a warm, tingling sensation spread through her body. Colors seemed more vivid, sounds more clear, and she was acutely aware of Zara's presence across the desk. "What did you do to me?" Maya asked, though she found she wasn't particularly alarmed. "Nothing harmful," Zara assured her, rising from her chair to move around the desk. "Just opened your perceptions a little. Tell me, what do you feel now?" Maya looked up at Zara, who was now standing beside her chair, and felt her breath catch. She could swear she could feel the warmth radiating from Zara's skin, could sense the gentle rhythm of her heartbeat. "I feel—" Maya paused, searching for words. "Connected. Like I can sense your emotions." "And what am I feeling, Captain?" Zara asked softly, reaching out to trace the edge of Maya's jaw with feather-light fingers. Maya closed her eyes, concentrating on the strange new sensations flowing through her. Affection, desire, and patience. "You're being very patient with me." When Maya opened her eyes, Zara was smiling that radiant smile again. "Very good. Your species is more receptive than I expected. Zara, Maya said carefully. What exactly? Are your intentions here? Instead of answering directly, Zara knelt beside Maya's chair, bringing them to eye level. On Ethereal Prime, when we find someone whose energy harmonizes with ours, we don't hesitate. We don't second-guess or worry about protocols. We simply reach out. She took Maya's hand and placed it over her heart. Through the enhanced sensitivity the tea had given her, Maya could feel the steady, strong rhythm of Zara's pulse, could sense the depth of emotion behind those dark eyes. But I understand that humans are more cautious, Zara continued. So, I'm willing to move at your pace, Captain, however long it takes. Maya felt the last of her resistance crumble. The tea might have enhanced her perceptions, but the feelings it was revealing were entirely her own. What if my pace is faster than you think? Zara's eyes widened slightly, then she smiled. Then perhaps we should find out. Maya was about to respond when her comm badge chirped urgently. Captain, we're receiving a distress signal from a research station in the Vega system, Torres announced. They're under attack. Maya closed her eyes and took a deep breath, feeling the professional mask slip back into place. On my way. As she stood, Zara caught her hand. This conversation isn't over, Captain. No, Maya agreed, squeezing Zara's fingers gently. It's not. The rescue mission would have to wait. Some things Maya was learning were worth fighting for. The research station was a mess of twisted metal and emergency lights when the Meridian arrived. Maya stood on the bridge watching the tactical display as Torres coordinated rescue operations. 15 survivors accounted for, Torres reported, but they're trapped in a section that's losing atmosphere fast. Can we beam them out? Maya asked. Negative. There's too much interference from the damaged power core. Maya turned to her tactical officer. What about a shuttle? The debris field is too dense. We'd never make it through. Maya felt the familiar weight of command settling on her shoulders. Every decision could mean the difference between life and death for 15 people she'd never met, but was responsible for saving. Captain, Zara said quietly from her position at the science station. I may have a solution. Maya looked at her. I'm listening. Ethereal ships use a different type of navigation system, one that relies on energy patterns rather than conventional sensors. I can pilot a shuttle through that debris field. Absolutely not, Maya said immediately. It's too dangerous. Zara moved to stand beside Maya's command chair. With respect, Captain, it's not your decision to make. Those people need help, and I'm the only one on this ship who can provide it. Maya wanted to argue, wanted to find another solution, but she could see the determination in Zara's eyes. More than that, she could feel it. The tea's effects hadn't completely worn off, and she could sense Zara's absolute conviction. Fine, Maya said finally, but I'm going with you. Captain, Torres started to protest. That's an order, Maya cut her off. Zara pilots, I handle the rescue operations. Torres, you have the bridge. 20 minutes later, Maya found herself strapped into the co-pilot's seat of a shuttle while Zara's hands moved over the controls with fluid grace. The debris field looked like a three-dimensional maze of death, chunks of metal spinning unpredictably through space. Trust me, Zara said softly, and Maya realized she did. Completely. Zara closed her eyes and placed her hands on the navigation console. Maya watched in fascination as patterns of light began to flow beneath Zara's skin, more pronounced than she'd ever seen before. The shuttle began to move, weaving through the debris with impossible precision. How are you doing this? Maya asked in wonder. I can feel the energy patterns, Zara murmured, her eyes still closed. Every piece of metal has its own signature, its own song. I just follow the harmonies. They reached the research station without a scratch, and Maya's team worked quickly to evacuate the survivors. As they prepared to leave, Maya noticed Zara swaying slightly in her seat. Are you all right? The navigation technique is taxing, Zara admitted, but I can get us home. The return trip was slower, more careful, and Maya could see the strain it was putting on Zara. By the time they docked with the Meridian, Zara was pale and exhausted. Maya helped her to her quarters, supporting her weight as they walked. "You saved 15 lives today," Maya said softly. "We saved them," Zara corrected, leaning against Maya's shoulder. "Together." At the door to Zara's quarters, Maya hesitated. "Will you be all right?" Zara looked up at her with those deep, dark eyes. "Stay with me?" It wasn't really a question, and Maya found herself nodding before she'd consciously made the decision. Inside Zara's quarters, the lights were dimmed, and the air carried the faint scent of those alien flowers Zara kept on her desk. "Thank you," Zara said, settling onto her bed, "for trusting me today." Maya sat beside her. "Thank you for giving me a reason to." Zara reached out and took Maya's hand. "I want you to know something, Captain. What I feel for you, it's not just physical attraction or even the energy harmony, it's deeper than that." Maya felt her heart skip. "Zara, I know it's complicated," Zara continued. "Command protocols, species differences, all of it. But what happened today, working together, trusting each other completely, that's what I want. Not just tonight, but always." Maya looked at their joined hands, then back at Zara's earnest face. "So do I." And finally, after days of dancing around each other, Maya stopped overthinking and simply leaned forward to kiss her. 6 months later, Maya stood in her ready room reviewing the latest reports from Starfleet Command. The Meridian's successful first contact missions had earned them recognition throughout the fleet, and much of that success was due to Zara's unique abilities and insights. The door chimed, and Maya smiled. "Come in." Zara entered carrying 2 cups of that stimulating ethereal tea, though Maya had long since built up a tolerance to its perception-enhancing effects. Not that she needed enhanced senses to be aware of Zara's every movement anymore. "How was your day?" Zara asked, settling into what had become her customary chair across from Maya's desk. "Productive. Admiral Rodriguez wants us to lead a diplomatic mission to the Andromeda colonies next month." Maya accepted her tea and took a sip. "Apparently, our success rate with first contact situations has made us the go-to team for delicate negotiations." "Ah," Zara said with a knowing smile. "And does Admiral Rodriguez know about our collaboration methods?" Maya laughed. "She knows we work well together. The specifics of how are classified. It had taken some creative paperwork to make their relationship officially acceptable under Starfleet regulations. But Maya had discovered that being in love with your cultural liaison had unexpected benefits when it came to understanding alien mindsets. "Speaking of collaboration," Zara said, setting down her cup and moving around the desk to perch on the arm of Maya's chair. "I have a proposition." "I'm listening," Maya said, automatically making room for Zara in her lap. "The Ethereal Council has offered me a permanent position as an ambassador to human space. It would mean staying on the Meridian indefinitely." Maya felt her heart skip. And I want to know how you feel about that, Captain." Maya set aside her tea and wrapped her arms around Zara's waist. "I think," she said carefully, "that the Meridian could use a permanent cultural liaison. Someone who understands both human and alien perspectives. Someone who can navigate the complicated waters of interspecies relations." "Is that your professional opinion?" Zara asked, her fingers playing with the collar of Maya's uniform. "Professional and personal," Maya admitted. "I love you, Zara. I want you to stay." Zara's smile was radiant. "Then I accept the position, on one condition." "Name it." "I want my quarters relocated, closer to yours." Maya grinned. "I think that can be arranged. For diplomatic purposes, of course." "Of course," Zara agreed solemnly, then ruined the effect by laughing. "Though I should warn you, the Council is sending a delegation to formally witness our bonding ceremony." "Our what now?" "Did I not mention? On Ethereal Prime, when 2 people's energies harmonize as completely as ours do, it's considered a sacred bond, one that should be celebrated." Maya felt a flutter of nerves mixed with excitement. Are you asking me to marry you? I'm asking you to bind your life force to mine in front of my people and yours, promising to share adventures, challenges, and discoveries for the rest of our days. Zara paused. Is that the same thing? Close enough, Maya said, pulling Zara down for a kiss. Yes, to all of it. Later, as they walked hand in hand through the corridors of the Meridian, Maya reflected on how much her life had changed since that first day in the docking bay. She'd thought she understood command, thought she knew what it meant to be responsible for the lives and welfare of her crew. But loving Zara had taught her something new about leadership, that sometimes the most important connections weren't about chain of command or duty rosters. Sometimes they were about finding someone whose energy truly harmonized with yours and having the courage to reach out and take their hand. What are you thinking about? Zara asked as they paused at the observation deck looking out at the stars streaming past. The future, Maya said. All the places we'll explore together, all the new species we'll meet, all the adventures waiting for us out there. Zara squeezed her hand. And? Maya smiled, watching the stars dance in Zara's dark eyes. And how lucky I am that the universe sent me you. Outside the viewport, the stars stretched into infinity, full of promise and possibility, just like the love they'd found among them.